Welcome to the Lift Your Moving Marketing podcast. This is actually a replay of a webinar I did back in December of 2023, where I took about an hour going through and helping a few movers with their 2024 digital marketing planning. I will be having another webinar January 25th at 5 p.m. So you are welcome to come back for that webinar, and there'll be some other moving company owners there to interact with. These are live webinars. These aren't recorded, so feel free to raise your hand, ask questions. I do spend a lot of time going through what we're seeing for 2024. We'll talk about your KPIs and goals, and we'll discuss what you should be planning for. What are some things that you want to make sure you accomplish in the next, especially the first quarter before the busy season. If you go to our website, there's a webinar page. You can register and get the Zoom link. I hope you will just take a moment. I would sit down at a desk and listen to this podcast, have some notes, prepare some notes for yourself. It's about an hour long. So if you can't attend the webinar live, I do have a replay of this in video. But if you're like me, I do listen to a lot of podcasts, and it makes it a little easier when I'm taking walks to listen. But there is chock full of information. I go through a lot. I hope that this is informative and helpful to you to guide you into 2024. So enjoy. Oh, thanks, Zachary. There we go. There we go. Clayton's here. And I think is going to be popping in. Javier's here. Yeah, everyone's settled. Oh, God.
Are more people, or is it just me?
No, there's people coming. I made a terrible error. I put the wrong Zoom link in there. So people are just slowly coming in. But yeah,
Okay.
don't feel awkward though. It's okay. I do this. It's if you don't want to show your face, it's totally fine. This is a
It doesn't matter. I'm gonna set this up. I wish I had a web.
Oh, there we go.
Got a big 36-inch monitor, but I don't have a webcam.
No, that's all right. No good. It's all good. It's all good. All good. All right. I'm just gonna one more minute here. I got still people pinging me. I think I'm gonna switch possibly next time to like a webinar, so it's like the same link every single time. So yeah, that's you. I was like, oh. And I am recording this. So if you have to leave early, I get it. We're all busy, especially with the holidays.
I'll be fine. I'll just be going in and out a few times, but other than that, I should be good to go.
Okay, no worries. All right. I'm gonna get another minute here.
This is like the third or fourth meeting I've had to go to today.
Oh yeah, I've been busy too.
Always something.
Always. Phone call after phone call, missed calls. I've got
Yeah.
interviews that I'm trying to get a hold of, and they don't show up for the interview. So it's like, but okay. Just kind of watch my my text messages, see if anybody else clings through here. All right, cool. All right, welcome guys. Thanks for hopping on. This is our annual, and I'll probably do this again in January for folks that are kind of too busy at the moment. And this is kind of our annual check-in to see how we are doing and what we can do for 2024. I'm going to go into some details about what to look for, definitely setting up budgets. I've got a spreadsheet, I've got checklists, I got everything, all that kind of stuff is ready for you guys when you're ready. Again, this is being recorded. It is going to go on my YouTube channel. Everything that I'm providing here with checklists and spreadsheets, all of that will be included. You're going to get all of this. The next is, where's my, so just strategies these are just strategies that you'll be able to year round. First off, we're going to set some goals. How many leads do you need? What kind of budget do you need to have? We'll have some big picture stuff. So marketing channels you should be tapping into and maximizing right now. Website optimization, how to optimize your website for 2024. We'll talk about some important marketing trends. And I don't really have it as a slide right now because it's changing all much, but I will get into some AI discussions. Feel free to ask me questions about that too. We'll talk about developing your own custom action plan, some KPIs that you might need, a budget, and what marketing channels you need to be looking at. And then, of course, we'll for sure open it up to Q&A. So first, just do me a favor, turn off the cell phones, Facebook chat. If you're a moving company and just really serious about making some changes in 2024, especially with the world the way it is now, it'd be great. We got an election year coming up. We've got high interest rates. Not a lot of people are moving, and I'm having a lot of conversations with moving companies. They're struggling. Obviously, we're in that season right now. It's December, January, and they're looking at 2024 as a what do I need to do? So I just want to give you a little bit of background about myself. I've been doing this for over 20 years. And I started my career off as a Defense Department logistician. So I spent 10 years working in warehousing, transportation. One of my very first jobs was taking stuff out of the Gulf War and into containers and shipping them back to the US. I had to build a whole database for that. And don't ask me when, it's a while ago. I've worked with contractors across the country. So it's not just moving companies that I've worked with. I work with remodelers and plumbers. So I have a pretty broad experience, but I've been working a lot more with moving companies. I kind of have an affinity for the niche. I like it. I like the people. I think you guys are just such hard workers, and I just have this affinity. And just let you know, I've moved every 3 years of my life. I've had a civilian move, a private move, a corporate move. I've moved internationally. I've moved across the street, you name it. So I am the person on the other end that people talk to. I'm the one that goes through all of this, asking, looking for moving companies. So I just want to let you know, I've not been a moving company owner. I'll be upfront about that, but I have been part of that whole logistician. I've been in that world, and I know what it takes. I've actually had to go through the process of weighing my stuff to work with a military move. So been there. And one other thing is doing that. There we go. All right. First off, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about nailing your marketing. What do we need to do to double your revenue and improve your profit? I just had a phone call today with a moving company in California, struggling really tough. He's got very low project. He charges on average $500 for a move, which I just think that's just way too low for anybody to make a living off of that. And so, what do we do to improve that, get some more profit out of that? And so he's got a 7% conversion rate. It's not very good. So what do we do to increase conversion rates? What do we get more money coming in the door? So what do we need to do to double the revenue? Are we looking at hiring more movers, right? A lot of you guys have 1099s, but I've experienced some folks that just do better when they have full-time movers or at least employees. So what's the goal here? Are we expanding to new regions? A lot of y'all just kind of work locally, maybe from a specific distance. I'm here in Texas. So when we say I only move within Texas, well, are you going to move to El Paso? That's 3 days. Texas is a big state. So where are we going to move to? So are you going to expand into distance-wise? Are we expanding into different, are you going to go international now? Are we trying to go more national stuff? So what's the goal for 2022? Now, planning to fail to plan, and you can't rely on a single source of income. Referrals are great. I love referrals. I do well with referrals, but if you lose a referral, like a realtor is retiring, there goes half your lead. So you need to fail to plan so you won't fail. Does that make sense? I don't know if that came out the way I was hoping.
My government contractors, they change about every 2 years, the procurement officers.
Yeah. So you just got to know that that's what's going to happen. So you got to plan for that. If you guys want, I'm going to throw this into the chat, and you guys can go ahead and download this. Here we go. That's the link to the annual workbook. And the workbook looks like this. You can download it, print it. We've got objectives in here. I've got your 2024 plan of what your current snapshot's going to look like, what your 2024 plan is going to look like. And then I've got a link straight to this workshop. So when you copy this, make sure you make a copy of this. And again, I'll send you that link here. And we're going to go into both of these. These are really great tools to help you figure out what your budget is, what your cost per lead is, where you're going to, what's your marketing budget going to look like? How's it going to break down? So we start here with a lead generation, right? So if your goal for 2024 is to make 3 million, right? That's a monthly revenue target of $250,000. Now, anything that's in this green, you can change those numbers. So if your average ticket, is $1,500, you're going to need to have 167 jobs per month in order to get that 3 million. So if we can up your average ticket value to 2,000, that's obviously less. That's 4 daily jobs, 125. So it helps you visually see where you need to be. The budget allocations is great. Everyone's always asking me, how much money should I put into marketing? It just depends on your willingness of your, whether you're conservative, whether you're aggressive with your marketing. 8% is about in the average range, 6 to 8%. 3 to 5, you're pretty conservative. So if you've got looking for that 3 million, right? We have a 3 million, 8%, you're looking at a total annual budget of $240,000. People's eyes go when they see that. So if that's not your cup of tea, lower it down to 5%. And you can see what that breaks down into each of these different pools. So online marketing, offline marketing could be billboards, TV, radio ads, and then repeat business. How much money you're going to spend per month trying to promote to other past customers, family, friends, realtors that you might meet, government contractors. So I encourage you to just take a moment and see what this does for you. Even further on, I've even given you some content ideas just to give you guys, everything from moving, packing, and storage. These are just content ideas, but don't go there yet. Don't do that yet. But I just wanted you guys to get access to the planning documents and what we're going to be going into here. All right, so we do want to set some clear goals. Like I mentioned earlier, we just want to make sure what exactly do you guys want to accomplish in 2024? Clear goals, wind at your sales. That's just something that you're going to have to, you're just going to need to do something like this. End of the year, January is the perfect time to do it. And what are your goals for 2024? How many leads are you going to need to get to 2024? If you've got a $5 million budget, $5 million goal to get. So 5 million. So if we're doing the 5 million and monthly target of 416, average value is 2,000. I need 208 jobs. I've got an 18% conversion rate. I don't know what your conversion rate is. Remember I was telling you about the 7% guy? That means he's got to get almost 3,000 leads, which is practically impossible. What I'm hearing most people are doing is like 45%. So that's 460.
If I can get them on the phone, I'll have a very high probability.
Right.
It's just getting them on the phone.
That's the hard thing. That's absolutely it. And I'm breaking off here, but it's totally cool. And so what I'm finding is people don't living up. Oh, it's fine. No. It's cool. I'm looking at the fact that I don't like forms anymore. Forms are cool for people that are at 10 o'clock at night and they're filling out a form. If you don't pick up the phone right then and there and call them immediately, it's almost pretty much guaranteed you won't get a hold of them. That's what I'm hearing. And these forms are 24/7 and they fill out the forms, but what they're doing is they're going to 5 different other places. So I just feel like having that number dialed and somebody picking up the phone, that's your best bet. That's your best conversion there.
Yeah.
So back to this, the snapshot. I'm not going to revisit this too much, but I think this is what you want to make sure you write down somewhere, fill this out, figure out where you want to be, what your average ticket is, because these are the questions I ask every new person I talk to. What's your average ticket? What's your average conversion? How many movers and drivers? How many trucks do you have? What's your sales? What's your staff like? One of my questions is it just you answering the phone, or do you have a sales rep or receptionist answering the phone? If it's just you, that's tough. I'd hire somebody, get somebody, a 1099 contractor, see if they can, doesn't have to be in the office. It could be remote, give them a script, give them some tools to figure out an estimate and take those calls that way. Average month. And then what's your current snapshot? So, and I kind of went through this already, so we didn't need to go through that again. Long term.
I wear too many hats. That's the thing is maybe we can talk later after the class.
Yeah,
I'm
of
sorry to
course.
keep interrupting, but
Zachary and Rodney and some of the others probably have the same questions. I just don't want to say anything.
I
So
wear
it's
too many
okay.
hats. I answer the phone. I pretty much do
Mhm.
everything.
Yep. I hear you. I hear you. And, I'm a small business owner too. I've got the same thing. So, all right, there's that marketing plan again. I'm kind of repeating here. So let's talk about your marketing strategy. Now you set some goals. So if you want, you can throw it into the chat. I'd love to know how many leads you guys need to get. Have you figured that out yet? I'll give you a minute or so if you want to just kind of take a moment and fill this out if you want. And let me know how many leads do you need to get per month starting in January in order to reach your goal. I'm just curious in the chat what that looks like. um, Now, if you've already know what you're going to do, great. So now it's time. You just want to make sure you document this, and maybe it's your website. I don't know. Maybe you realize you don't know if the forms are working or where are the forms going. You don't know what the data is. What I hear a lot too is people don't know where their leads are coming from. Either that or they're buying leads, one or the other. Again, I spoke to somebody earlier this week and he said that most of his leads he's purchasing, which I get. I don't agree with it. I think it's a lost lead, but that's okay. But on the flip side, they don't know where they're coming from. They don't know if they're paid ads. They don't, they say paid ads work and they didn't work. I don't know if it worked or not. I don't know how much I spent. I spent a lot of money. I just don't know what happened. So you really need to get real clear. And if your current marketing company is not giving you the accurate data, you need to know these numbers. As the owners of your business, these are numbers you need to know, especially on the marketing side. I am sure you guys got the operations down, right? How much to pay your people, how much your leases are, what your taxes are and stuff. But I find it interesting that a lot of you guys don't have the numbers when it comes to your marketing, at least not fine-tuned. So just where is it that we need to focus the most? Now, this is kind of this growth model, and there's a lot that goes on here. Your website, reputation management, conversions, right? Maximizing conversions. I'm not talking about the leads that come in. It's that, is it a 7% conversion or are we talking 50% conversion can make or break a company? Optimize your results, average cost per leads, your total spend, paid search, database, drive leads. I mean, there's a lot that goes into this. And again, you're going to get this sheet. Don't be furiously writing things down right now. There are clear steps, to triple your goals, right? We want to drive leads. So where are those leads coming from? Organic, paid? Do you have a database of people? I know that a lot of you guys probably do some direct marketing. You mail leads to a list that you purchase from people who either just put their homes on the market. And that's a great tool. I've got a client that does really, really well with letters that he sends out to a specific targeted list. Then we go to the maximize conversions. So we've spent all this money getting them to you. They come to your website and your website isn't working. It's not converting people. They can't find the phone number. The forms aren't working. They get a sense they're not quite sure who you are. There's a little trust issue going on. People don't like to put their faces on their website. You have to get past that. And we'll talk about that later. But reputation management, you got to get those reviews in. I know you know this. Drive those reviews to Google reviews as much as you possibly can. There's tools out there. I know Smart Moving does it. They've got a great tool that once you finish, send out that review immediately. It helps. Automation is fantastic for those that like yourself, Clayton, when automation is your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get things happening without you being around, that's great. But that's that conversion side. And I keep going back. Optimize your results. Now, we've gotten the leads. They've made the call. Now we need to find out about optimizing. Should you be spending 5% minimum of your marketing to push your message out and get awareness? Are you going to want to stay where you are? Do you rely solely on referrals? That's great. But if you want to grow, then you have to invest. So that's where we get into optimizing results. Now we go back and we see what drove the leads, what was our best conversion tool, and we just start. And it's just a massive iteration over and over again. We've got clients, we start off in 3 months and we round again for the next 3 months, right? So seasonal too. You might have, a January, February, March campaign. And then you've got your high season campaign in the summer and then the fall. And then, so all of this has to be adjusted and tweaked and updated. Then track your ROI. That's where these numbers need to go. You've got to know where these numbers are coming from because you're just throwing money out the window. I'm hearing it left and right. And it just hurts my heart when we see this. So omnipresence is the key here. It does. It really does. When I hear people say, I hired a company to do SEO and I can see on their website that zilch was done. I can see it. Nothing was done.
I paid 50 grand in 1 year for SEO optimization or search engine optimization.
Yeah.
And that probably wasn't even really that much money compared to what, most people spend.
It just depends on how aggressive they were. We can talk about it and see what they've done. But I mean, I can see it. The website's gotten built. And on the very bottom, the social media icons goes to their website, not the company, not the moving company, their website. I was like, oh man, that truly, like my heart just hurt for him. Omnipresence is the key. So don't just depend on your website. It is not the end all be all. It is the foundation for sure. Nowadays, you need to think about all areas between the top of the search engines, social media, where, your Instagram, your Facebook, your Google business profile, your map, your Google business profile. So this is one of our companies, Blue Ox. And it's just all about omnipresence, being everywhere. We've got tools so let's say you've got a paid ad, they come to your site. I now drop a cookie. If I have an address associated with that cookie, I can send off a postcard immediately. So it's bam, 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 bam. So it's not, so SEO, you spent time on SEO, money on SEO, they come to your site. But remember there's that 7-point touch. You got to touch people 7 times before they make a decision. So they did a paid ad, then they see your ad, they go to your social media, they get a postcard from you, they go back to your website, they get an email newsletter from you, and maybe another decision maker, a phone call. 7 points. So omnipresence is the key here. You got to be everywhere all the time. It's a world we live in now. I'm not super happy about it, but it is what it is.
I did Mozi, I think it was. There was a program called Mozi to where you enter all your information, puts it pretty much everywhere online.
Yeah.
Or my SEO guy did that. I'm not sure if you've heard of that, but
Mozi.
You basically enter, I guess, your address, your name. Yeah, Mozi, I think MOZI something.
I know there's Moz.
Puts you on all social media.
Yes. Yeah.
That may be it.
Yeah.
I'm not
it's
100%.
No, it's Moz. Yep. And they're like every other tool. There's SEMrush, there's Ahrefs, Moz, there's Web CEO. There's all these many tools. And there's one and what you're talking about is getting your name properly listed in all these directories. And that's purely SEO purposes. That's not omnipresence. That's just for SEO so that Google sees your address, your name, your phone number is exactly the same, which you have to do. Just kind of back to this conversion idea. There's so many things that you guys can be touching on, but you can't do them all. And that's where we have to go back and strategize on this. What's the best touch points to do? We're even looking at Bing. We've done really well with Google Ads, but I'm thinking Bing is the next level because Google Ads is becoming so AI generated. It's becoming difficult for us to help make changes because they keep wanting to do it for us and we can't customize it, which is not a good thing from an advertiser perspective. So Bing is kind of coming up there. It reaches a market that's a little bit more money. Tell you the truth. People on Bing have money. I don't know. That's what the surveys say. But, retargeting for sure is another big one. So like I said, if they come to your site and we've got a zip code, I can have the zip codes for you. If they visit 1, 2, 3 websites, I can get an address associated with that user. I can send them a zip code. I'm sorry, send them a postcard. So it's not a postcard to every single person that visits your site. It's just within a range of zip codes. So it's just constantly hitting people. Paid online directories, repeat referrals, the pay per lead, Google local service ads. I know moving leads is out there. I'm not a real fan of it, but it's there. It is what it is. I can't say, they drive leads. I just don't like how they do it. Definitely video. If you haven't done video, you got to get on board with that. It's a trust factor, guys. With AI the way it is, I can generate a blog and a photo for using Midjourney that it's really good. I mean, I'm not going to deny it. It does really well. So my thing is that what's coming is it's not scary. I'm not scared with it, but it is going to change the landscape, and there's going to be a bit of a trust issue. I don't know if it's real. I've seen websites with super AI generated images, and the guy's got 3 legs and 4 arms, and nobody looked at that, and they put it on their website. So just be careful you're using it. Don't copy paste. Take a moment, look at it before you post it. But video is what's going to help move you above your competition. I guarantee it. And I'm not talking about polished video with a bokeh, with a Sony camera like I have, and a bokeh behind me and all that, the special camera. I'm just talking about using your phone and doing video right there on the spot, showing packing, showing them loading, showing the piano move, whatever it is, and posting that on social media. You got to be on top of that. Newsletters.
I have a YouTube channel for that actually that I started.
Perfect.
Sorry to
Great.
interrupt, but yeah, they basically like assembling stuff, packing stuff, like just to show the customers what they're going to expect on move day.
Yep. Perfect. It's just the one I'm seeing coming down the pipeline. Trust is a big issue. How do I know it's real? Video helps with that. Now let's talk about your website really quick. I'm just going to speed through this. Your website is your hub. Here's just an example summit that we're doing here. When we took it over, it is what it is. It's a lot of times you guys start off with just like your own website you built, or maybe a GoDaddy site or something. And that's great. I don't recommend the first couple of years you hire somebody to build you this fabulous website. Just get something out there. Get your phone number up front. I've got people say that they love their site. It does wonders for them. So I'm not touching it. If it's doing it thing, let it do its thing. But there's just some elements about it that we want to make sure that are in there. This is just an example. It's not the most beautiful site in the world, but it's got all the right elements. We got a phone number. We got a quick quote. We've got exactly where they're located, right? This is DeKalb, right? DeKalb, Illinois. So I know where they're headed. So just be real clear. Now, why is conversion so important when it comes to your website? So if we've got 100 leads a month and a 5% conversion and no follow-up, then, we've got an average 12,500. But if we have a website and it's actually converting, and we've got some automation involved, we got 25 book jobs, we've got 62,000. So there's just a real big issue when it comes to conversion with your website, and obviously anything else. But how do we optimize for that conversion? How do we make sure that I go from 5% to 25% conversion? To me, that's one of the biggest draws. I'd rather get you more conversions, even though I might only get you 100 leads. That doesn't change. If I can help with that conversion, that's great, because that doesn't change. Sending leads sometimes is a money thing. I just pour more money into paid ads. I pour more money into postcards. But if I can help you get to the point where we go from a 10% conversion to a 25% conversion, that's a sticky thing. So, I just want to ask you real quick, anything you guys want to share? I know Clayton's really good. I appreciate it, Clayton.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry, I kind of interrupt sometimes.
No, it's good. It's all good. Rodney, Zachary, Javier, anybody? Roman, anything you guys want to share? I'd love to hear it. Really would. Just going to give you guys a break if you want. I need to have a sip of water here. If not, I'll keep going.
Yeah, somebody talk. You
Yeah.
guys in the moving industry too? I'm in San Diego.
Oh,
So if
yeah.
you guys need
Okay.
anybody to unload your stuff in San
Nice.
Diego, California, I got you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, Rodney.
Oh, okay. Maybe I did unmute it.
Where are you, Rodney?
I'm in Ventura, California.
Okay. Cool. All right.
So you're let's see, that's up in that's north of LA, right?
Yeah, I'm just you can say 50 minutes, hour out of LA.
Oh yeah. That's where I know where that's like not close. It's in between Malibu and Santa Barbara, I think.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I
Okay.
can get to Santa Barbara in about
Yeah. Well,
35
I'm in
minutes.
San Diego, so if you got any jobs coming down this way, we'll be happy to unload for you. We just charge
Oh,
an
okay.
hourly rate, no fuel fee, and I'll do the same to you.
Roman's in
Okay.
San Diego too.
Not a
Oh,
problem.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zachary, where are you? Zachary's like, I'm on my own. All right.
And
No.
I've been in business since 2012, so we know what we're doing. We got some,
Yeah.
you know,
No, I hear
so we'll
you.
take care of anything you send our way.
Okay. Like I say, same here. All for working together.
Yeah,
I
you got
like
to
it.
nowadays. It's getting crazy. The California Air Resource Board, that's about to drive me crazy. I had to sell 2 of my trucks already because they didn't have
Yeah.
diesel emissions fluid.
I've heard
Yeah,
that.
they're not playing. I just seen the article. They fined some big company $119,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to sell. I sold 2 trucks that were paid off, brand new engines, brand new transmissions. Sold both of them for 22,000, and then had to buy one 2018 model for 52,000. So
Wow.
got screwed real bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was tattooed. All right. That's not
Oof.
good.
Oof. And there goes your cost. Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I don't
Well,
have a choice, but luckily I've got some good government jobs coming up. They pretty much guarantee, like, one of them's 150 grand a year, so that's pretty much
that's good.
guaranteed. And then anything else we make, the residential jobs, those are. I really prefer government and commercial. Like we're kind of do a niche on laboratory moves
Oh,
because a
really?
lot of people don't want to. Yeah, a lot of people don't want to do that. I've realized because
Yeah.
it's kind of fragile,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I do them, and one we did yesterday, they paid me 2,600 for one day just to move. It was like 6 big things you put your arms in, and it's like gloves on the inside to where you're dealing with
Oh,
like
yeah. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
biomedical type stuff.
No, I got you.
All right. Well, I'm
Like
going to keep moving on
damaging.
here. All
Yeah,
right.
sorry.
That's okay.
No, that's
You
good.
guys are working. It's all good. It's all good. All right. So I'm going to go through this real quick. I've got an internet marketing checklist. Again, I'm going to throw this into the chat here. Go ahead. Feel free to download that as well. Let me make
Okay.
sure that's working. 12 critical elements to enhance your conversion, right? Back on track with the conversion here. So speak to your target avatar. I know, don't be like Revlon where they say everybody with skin. It's my target market. That's not your case. Find out what your fear are. I like to do avatars on your best clients. I realize that you might have apartments, senior moves, pack only kind of stuff, but always have in mind that perfect avatar, that perfect customer. Is it a 55-year-old professional woman with 3 kids, husband? She makes all, is it her? Is it somebody maybe younger that is mobile and apartments and they got a bunch of friends? I don't know who that is, but try and speak to that person. Have photos of that person on your website. What are their fears? Ask them why they chose you is always a really good question in the beginning of a conversation. It really helps with marketing because we'll ask those questions during our strategy calls, our monthly calls, where we'll be like, okay, why did this person choose you? Why did they sign the contract? And it's not always because of money. So be real. I really want to make sure you guys use as many authentic images as possible of your team on your homepage and throughout the website. Video and multimedia elements engage different modalities because some people They all have different ways of getting their information. Some people like to read, some people prefer video. So just have those options on there. But I'm going to reiterate, use authentic images, use real video, have a website welcome video. The welcome video might be the more polished one. You might hire a videographer for that. But after that, really just use Canva. Is a free tool. You can get the pro version, but Canva's got a great way of helping you stitch pieces of video together. Have one for every service, your residential, your apartment, your office, your condo, your whatever it is, have videos for each one of those. Why should someone contact you versus the competition? What makes you better than anybody else? Don't always play by the price game. Don't be the cheapest person in line there. It's just a fast way to go out of business. Leverage social proof. If you can, man, get those online reviews. Like I said, Smart Moving's got a really great tool. A couple of our clients, we had a cool tool called Gather Up, but we found out that Smart Moving was just better. So we just canceled the Gather Up and we just use Smart Moving now. So whatever is going to get those reviews. Now I'll add on to this. If you can get a review while they're in their house or their new house and upload a photo themselves, the better. That helps with Google Business Profile because every image that they're uploading has a meta code in it and a location tagged. So that gets read by Google and our bots. So a review with a photo is like the gold standard. So if you can get them
isn't there a new thing with Google right now? The neighborhood, what's it called? It's like the snack. No, it's not the snack pack. I thought that's what my SEO guy called it.
The map pack.
Yeah, so you have to do something specific, I think. Sign up.
Well, there's Google local ads, local service ads. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, I thought that he said you had to sign up for it and you had to get approved. It's basically you get the green check mark, I think is what it is.
That's Google guaranteed, Google local service ads.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
That's a paid service.
Okay. So do you recommend that or no?
I recommend it. Yeah. There's not a lot of it's the setup process on this. You got to have everything ready. All your photos and a video, all your reviews need to be in place. You got to have insurance. You got to get all set up because after that, there's not much more a marketer can do. It's there.
I've got all of it.
Yeah, but
I've been in business for 11 years.
Yeah, it's just, you got to be in there every day. You have to be in there every single day to determine if it's a real legit lead or not. Because not everybody, some people are looking for jobs. That's not a lead. You got to dispute it so you don't spend all of your budget in one day. You just have to be in there every day. It can work. You got to work it. Get the basics in order. Get your phone number in the right-hand corner. Don't hide that. Don't put a call now with a button without your phone number. I'm finding a lot of people don't even touch it. They have their phone and they dial it. So they want to see that phone number right away. I'm going to call right then and there. Ensure there's a web form for customers to fill out. I mean, some people, that's just what they like. I just find it difficult to follow up with them. Do add some credibility and authority scores. So if you're BBB rated and Angie's list, well, not Angie's now, but make sure you put some of that credit. If you belong to a chamber, what's going on here?
I don't like Angie's list. I think that was home advisor.
Yeah, home advisor too is another. Yeah, right. But if you belong to a chamber, the movers associations, I'm not sure which ones in California. There's a few of them. There's national ones, but if you belong to any of those, put those on your website. Clear calls to action. Try not to have too many calls to action. I see websites where there's like 15 call now, learn more, fill this out, download, get our checklist, and it's too much. Just a phone number. Honestly, the phone number, you can put the estimate in there, but I don't know. I'm seeing people you just can't get a hold of them. Use special offer coupons, right? So if you work with veterans, maybe there's a veterans discount, a senior discount. Share those on social media. Have a monthly offer, a monthly coupon that you can do, and change that out on the homepage every month. Make sure it's mobile optimized so that when I go to your site on a phone, I want that phone number visible at all times. I just touch it and dial. I don't want to look for it, find it, fill it out, and answer that phone, guys. Answer the phone. It's fine, voicemail, I get it. It's a Saturday at 6 o'clock. I understand. But I personally feel like you should get an answering service at that point. Even if you're not going to talk to anybody, they want to talk to somebody right then and there. They want to get an answer. I can't tell you how many times I've called moving companies and I don't get a phone call until Tuesday morning, and I called on a Sunday. Tuesday morning. You've lost the business.
Yeah.
So if you're going to spend money on this stuff, you've got to be aware that, you know, hiring service, get a high school person, I don't know, whatever it is. Live chat.
I need to do that. I had a telephone operator for a while, but I just felt like that the guy was watching, he was getting on Facebook too much, you know, it was kind of, he wasn't answering because the phone didn't ring as much as it should have rang at the time. And he had a lot of free time. So he would use his free time searching Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah. You might want to give the option to book online if you've got a calendar system, especially from an estimate. If you want to have a discussion with somebody, they fill out a form, they fill that out right, you can have a calendar set up. And site speed does matter. So you want to make sure you're checking it. Try to use SMS. As I've noticed myself, even with you guys, it's important now. It's just the world we live in. So make sure you've got some tool managing your SMS and some marketing automation. So
yeah.
What are we doing here? There we go. Oh, let me go back. So this is another one of our clients, Blue Ox. So they actually have packing supplies that you can buy, and they usually just kind of share that with their current clients, but we've got call and request an estimate. They have their own video at the top, but even this, if I were to go back and do this, I'd probably get rid of these. I'd probably push these down a little further and not have so many calls to action. We did this a couple of years ago, so it's probably time to kind of revamp this a little bit, but just there's no missing what I want them to do, period. Here's another one. We did not build this site. This is not mine. I just like that it's just, I love the guys in the front. I just love that they're happy. Their t-shirts are there. They got the truck behind them, right? I think it gives off a value that real people. Personalize the business, add team photos, add a picture of the owner, the CEO, crew, staff. And, you know, they're having a softball game here. So I think it's just part of community as well as a trust factor, expertise. Post some videos, YouTube, embed them. Don't put them right on your website. Try to, like, you know, Clayton was saying with his YouTube channel, put it on YouTube and then put it onto your website. Definitely showcase your reviews, embed them as you can. So every review you gets automatically updated. And make sure you leverage live chat. Again, I'm not sure live chat's working just yet. There is some AI tools out there that I saw last week. I was on a webinar watching a new tool that, I don't know about you guys, I don't like bots on chat. It's the most annoying thing. But what I'm seeing with AI is you train it to answer the questions like a real person would. Things like, are you available to come to my house to give me an estimate? Yeah. When's a good time for you? Next week. Great. When next week is a good day? Is that Tuesday or Wednesday? And it talks to you like that. I can see that. That I can see is a true chat. Now, unless you want to have 24-hour on chat and somebody is there answering questions, most often I see there's a chat and nobody's really doing anything about it. So it sits there. So if you're going to have chat's got to be answered. Is it mobile friendly? Right. So we're going to be able to use it, right? I'm not going to go through all the stats of how many people, we know how many people use mobile phones. That list I talked about, that checklist, that's this whole checklist. I'm not going to read all through this, but that checklist I gave you earlier is there. Is your website optimized for search? Right now, we've got 71% of clicks on the top of the search pages. 71%, 67 of the 71% go to the first 5 listings. So if you're number 10, ain't going to do a whole lot. So you either get into that Google local, you pay for it, you do the Google guaranteed, or you're not on the page at all. It just, if you're on page 2, it's just, nothing's going to happen. And there really is no more page 2. You just scroll. You know you're on page 2 and you get past that second round of ads. But most of the time, 67% of the 71 go to this top 5. So that Google business profile is really, really important. And people say, people don't click on the ads. They click on the ads. They do. I'm just talking about organic right now. This is just SEO at this point. So all of these guys are getting most of the clicks. It does matter. You can't rely on paid ads alone. Paid ads is a turn off and turn on. That's it. If you turn it off, ads stop. SEO is branded. It can continue working. If you get it right, you get the content right, stuff you can share over and over again, it'll help. They're looking for expertise. So you got to build that authority right now. Do you have your main keywords? And again, I'm not going to read through all this stuff. It's in that checklist, but these are the things you want to make sure you're doing. Keywords are a big deal. Local movers near me. Those are really competitive phrases. The likelihood, if you haven't done it yet, it's going to take a long time to get up there. Long time, a lot of work, a lot of money. So maybe it's local piano movers. Maybe it's long distance senior moves. The longer keywords, a little easier. You don't get as much traffic, but if you can get several of them, they all kind of add up. They're a little easier to show up for. And again, we've got pages. You do need a page for each service. It's changing a little bit. I'm seeing things like having a location page. We still do that, but we optimize as much as possible. We get geotagged images on there, and then we share it on Google Business Profile. We use it on Facebook, so we drive as much traffic to them. But we need to make sure you have your on page, your Google Business Profile, claim and optimize your maps, add your Yext or similar citation manager that Clayton was talking about earlier, making sure your citations are up. Ongoing content, push out your new blogs. If you're going to have a blog, don't just post the blog. Syndicate it, distribute it, send it in an email, throw it on your social media. Having a blog is kind of like a baseball in the middle of the field. They don't always come. So if you have a blog, it's got to get out there. Nobody's just going to go read your blog. You got to share it. So signals that they're looking for is expertise, authority, and trust. That's what Google wants to see. And that's what I'm talking about. Video, content, actual real embedding. And does it come up for search? On-site optimization. I'm getting closer to an hour, so I'm going to kind of go through some of these a little bit. Pretty much everything that I've said here. Do I see success with individual landing pages? Yes, I do. Not only landing pages, but actual blog posts. You'd be surprised. Sometimes the blog posts are number 3 and number 4 on the top pages. So it's interesting to see that. And because we distribute it, we throw it out in a press release, we get it on all the different social medias, and the whole goal is to drive traffic back to the website. And so when we look at the analytics, it'll tell me, it'll be like, hey, this blog. Not only that, we'll even put it as a paid ad. We'll have like the ultimate moving checklist, right? And that'll be on a paid ad as a secondary link in there. So we'll see that driving traffic too. But make sure you got unique content. I know AI is out there. I've seen it. I've had clients with marketing people. They go to AI, they have AI write a blog, and it is nothing to do with the location, the business itself, what they do. It's just nonsense. So I'm not saying don't use ChatGPT and AI. I'm not saying don't use it. Just be really careful how you use it, get the right prompts to do it, and edit it before it gets posted. Focus on your page speeds, and that's just repeating what I've been saying earlier. Make sure you've got one keyword for every landing page. So if it's piano movers, make sure the whole thing is about piano movers. The title's a piano mover. You've got pictures of people moving pianos. Optimize the whole landing page, and then for sure the whole site. You want about 1,500 words of content per page. Just one of our dashboards. So when I talk about SEO leads, are the lowest cost per lead, but the highest close rate, because it's organic, so people kind of trust it a little bit more. It takes a while to get to the top, but I think it's worth it. Some real life examples. So that's a title tag at the top. So these are Seattle movers. That's an H1 tag, Greater Seattle Area Local Residential Movers. We've got an H2 tag, some content. We've got more individual content to take me to different pages. So when you look at that, is your site properly optimized? What services don't we offer, right? We got service pages, Houston home, storage, packing, office. We've even extended this now. It's a longer list for here as well. There's a page for every service. I sometimes see people just say local moving services, and they list every single page, everything service on one page. I don't recommend that. Have a page for every service. Here's another example, service areas. This is one of my remodeling clients. Aurora Home Remodels, Batavia, DeKalb, Geneva, Sycamore. So we've even going into the communities now. So, but have a page for everyone, every location. Now, guess what? I got a keyword list for you guys. So if you want my keyword list, do I have it? Ooh, hold on. I'll get it to you guys. Copy link address. This is the keywords. Download that. Those are, just use these as ways of either building pages for your paid ads. But it's not just these, there's more in there. Let me see if it'll open up for me. Yeah. So these are commonly searched. I've even given you average monthly search. And this is for an individual metropolitan city. So it's not all over the US. So it's pretty relevant. But these are some of the top words. You got moving rentals, mover costs, movers quote, piano movers near me, packing supplies. You know, the top ones obviously are movers near me. And like I said earlier, if that's what you're trying to go for, it's going to take a while. A while meaning a year, if not longer, and more money. It just takes a while. Negative keywords are just as important. We've started building these into some of our paid ads. So if you are in California and you're doing paid ads, make sure that you only do local moves. Make sure you have negatives in your paid ads as well as some of your SEO. Like, don't use the word cheap in anywhere of your website content. Don't use affordable. Don't use the word free. That gets picked up. If you don't do sheds, don't talk about sheds. If you don't do pianos, don't talk about pianos. So then obviously the HR stuff here. So, all right. Off-page SEO, again, get those citations out there, Google Business Profile listing, and get those backlinks. Backlinks are authoritative sites. So if you've got an Angie list, I keep saying Angie's list because I keep going back to that, but Angie, if you can get a good link back, chambers of commerce are good links back to your site. Other blog posts linking back to your site.
Hello, I'm sorry to interrupt,
Okay.
but I meant you were talking about the negative keywords, but what about toxic backlinks? That's one thing I've dealt with in the past.
Yeah, we do that about every quarter. We just round up the toxic backlinks and we go back to Google Search Console and we just disavow them. There's a way to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can always help that.
Yeah, I had a lot of them at one point.
Yeah. If you're really active building a backlink strategy, sometimes there's just no way to stop it. Because if you've got a really good authority on your website, people are going to want to hijack that. And so those toxic links are kind of part of that process. So,
because I've had my website for about 9 years so far, I think.
Yep. And then make sure you're sending out your content in as many places. Building up those links. Pages are built, optimized. More than 70% of the battle in any SEO is building those links. And whoever has the most quality links wins. A Wikipedia link to your site is, again, gold standard. I've got one client in the oil and gas industry. He got a Wikipedia link. And I was like, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But from a mover perspective, you know, it's more about finding people that are talking about moves. So maybe realtors might have a website, or an interior designers might have a website, or staging people, and getting links back from those sites are great. Do Google Maps matter? You bet. They're probably top tier if you can get on the top. This is an ad. So if I do any paid ads, I try and get on that ad. 45% of all those clicks, they go straight to that phone number.
Yeah.
Do Google Maps matter?
And like I said, once I get them on the phone, I pretty much got them booked 100%.
Yep.
Especially in person. In person, I think I've got like a 99% success rate. Like if I go out and do an in-person quote, I'm going to book the job 100%.
But it goes both ways. You spent the time to go out to see them. They're not going to go now start finding, because that takes time away from them to have these appointments with 2 or 3 other movers. So if you took that time, I like the quote, I like you. Yeah, I see that. But yeah,
But
Google
just
Maps.
phone calls is kind of tricky. It's like maybe like you were saying, 30-40%.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe so. We're still tracking it. I'm still kind of watching it a little bit more, but I do see more phone calls. And then when you ask them later, they have a tough time getting hold of people. Now, paid marketing. Back to what we're talking about, Google Guarantee. That's Google Local Service Ads, GLSAs. And again, I had a whole webinar on that last year. If you want to go to my YouTube channel, it's there. I talk about in length what that looks like. I do believe in a paid ad campaign. It in sync with an SEO campaign. I think the two of them work well together. They you do get found, and it gives you a little bit more ability to add. The thing about paid ads, and I'll just keep moving along here. There's just options to that. I'm not real keen on the pay per leads. I don't like them. Google Local Service Ads, I think, is a little bit different for sure, because there is a guaranteed thing in there. But it goes back to the fact that if you're paying for leads, you are one of 10 other people that got the same lead. And I've experienced that myself. I don't want to go through, again, I don't want to go through all the details here. That's back in that spreadsheet. So, but why do they fail? When I go in and I look at some of these paid ad campaigns, I can see that there's only one ad group for all the services. That's a bad move. The second thing I see is they're listening to Google, and the Google reps tell them what to do. That's also a really, really bad move. They're in it to make money. They're going to give you whatever it is to get the most money for them. So don't follow those recommendations. Don't follow the Google reps. Unless you're having a problem, reach out. But other than that, don't take their advice. Don't use specific text ads and landing pages. What failing is, they send people to the homepage and not to a specific landing page. So if you have again, back to the piano, if you have a piano move campaign ad, send them to the piano moving page. If you've got residential home paid ads, send them to the residential home page, where you talk all about the beauty of the work that you do, the services, the benefits, the guarantees, what happens afterward. All of that needs to be on that homepage, but the front and center, phone number, boom, right there. Don't make me find it. No strong calls to action. If the other thing that people are missing, and they don't take advantage of the add-ons. So when we see at the very bottom, let's see back in here, they don't add these add-ons here. Free moving quote, home moving. That's one sponsored ad. And you can look here in 2Men, they don't do that. So all this real estate, you want to be able to take advantage of that. They typically do this little, that's actually not a sponsored one. Here's, let me go further down. Who else is doing sponsored? Oh, here. Well, they're doing it here, but just a little bit, but I do like it. We try and get it so that we take up as much of the real estate as possible. So they're not taking advantage of all this. So that's what I'm seeing, what people fail to do. Yeah, they call out extensions. They forget images. They forget adding video. So when you go into a paid ad, make sure that you're filling everything out. All those call out extensions, all the photos that you can think of, put it all in there. Tap into the Google Local Service Ads. Pick a budget that you're comfortable with, but be in there every single day. Again, there's my checklist. I'm not going to go through all that. Your foundation is your search engines, which is your SEO, your map pack, your pay-per-click. Next is your social media, your online directories, and your paid lead services. So are you active on social media? This is the next question for 2024. What different are you going to do on social media? I know I'm going to do more video, more quick video, and I'm not going to be really tied so much into making sure everything's perfect. I'm going to record it and I'm going to post it and get it done because I spent too much time trying to make it look good and it's not working. How active are you on there? I think, I say daily. I say every day, post something. Be in there every day, because if you'll notice that when you go to your feed, pretty much every second or third is a sponsored ad. Says a lot what Facebook is trying to do. They want you to do boosted posts. So I say every day post something, and post video, post reels, post shorts, and then boost a post every now and then, and do some Facebook ads. That's really going to reel them all in, because I've seen people with one guy he said he had a marketing company. He couldn't list me everything, but he said they were doing social media. I went to his page, he had 0 likes. 0. I could see they posted about once a week, but I'm like, what was the point? Nobody saw it. Nobody saw it. So, if you're going to do it often enough and share it, guys. You are the owners of the company. Share your own posts on your own personal profiles. Get your employees to do it. Get anybody to share your post, like your post, comment on your post. It's not cheating. It's not. Do that. Get everybody. Everybody needs to be in there and involved. So are you active? So I'm not going to go into the stats here, but on average, user has 135 friends, and they'll check in 69 times per day. So that's the other thing. Your blogs, when you post a blog, don't do it one time, do it multiple times. One post can be shared repeatedly over the next year. And don't do it at 9 o'clock every day, because you're missing the 12 o'clock, the 5 o'clock, the 6 o'clock, and the 9 o'clock people. So really, really work on getting that repeat business and those referrals on there. And again, there's your active. Now, are you leveraging it? I stuck that in there because I want to make sure, if you're not sure what to say, ChatGPT is great. Give it a prompt. Say, hey, I'm a mover in LA. Give me 5 examples of residential moving social posts, and give it a little bit more parameters. It'll come up with some really good ideas for you. So there's no reason not to leverage that for yourself. And so leveraging email marketing is my next level for 2024. I think people don't use this enough. Smart Moving and some of these other tools are great when after the fact. After you've sold them, you've given them the estimate through the tool, you've got those tools in there, but I'm talking about beforehand. So I've got a tool in place that I track the calls, I track the emails, I track the forms. It's all loaded in with Google Ads. I can see the Facebook ads. I can see everything in my tool. It's called movingup.pro. And I tie it into Smart Moving, so we don't have to do double entry. Somebody fills out a form, it automatically gets sent to Smart Moving. And but I think what people lack, that extra step when somebody requests information or an estimate, they might be looking at others. So why not send them 1 or 2 follow-up emails? Hey, here's our great checklist. Here's our accolades. Here's our reviews. And maybe one day, maybe the second day, and then the third day. I'm not talking about slamming people with a bunch of emails, but then a monthly email. So somebody's thinking about moving, maybe something happened, they're not moving for 6 months now, but let's just send out a monthly top of mind email that might be repeating the blog post you sent. And this is just some information in here too. Do you send out a monthly newsletter? Are you leveraging online reviews? Direct mail is another one for 2024. This is an example. You can send out a postcard automatically targeted by your top zip codes. I'm working on I found a company. I'm talking to them now about doing more direct mails. What I like to do is I put QR codes on there. So if they use the QR code, I can track it. I know they came from that postcard. We have a phone number for that piece of info, that data. That postcard has its own phone number. I know they came. So I get ROI on every piece of content that gets sent out. And that everything gets tracked with the QR codes. Not every time. Sometimes they take it and they just dial the number. So the number is still tracked, but if they go to the website outside of it, it's hard to track that, but I try and do as much tracking as I possibly can. I do like that if you hit them multiple times with a letter, a postcard, a website visit, a Facebook ad, I think that's where we need to start doing. Yard signs. I don't see this enough. I don't know. Do you guys use yard signs? I know the truck is one big yard sign, but I'm wondering, I'm saying like a QR code on the sign, something, either that before or after you've left. Hey, we were here. I don't know. I haven't seen that.
Maybe, but I
but
throw stuff like that away usually. Like, I don't know how other people are, but any type of mail too, like postcards and stuff, I just leave them. I just throw them in the trash.
Right.
I don't know if other people are like that or not.
Yeah. Is lead flow the problem? That's the other question. Is not the problem that you can't get enough leads? Is it, are you converting? So 50 to 60% of inbound leads leave unconverted. So sometimes you're getting enough leads. Sometimes it just takes too long to get back in touch with them. If so, you've lost the lead. So sometimes the leads are sitting in an email somewhere. Please tell me when people fill out that form, it doesn't go to your email. I can't tell you how many times people go, either they can't get into their email and their email becomes the lifeblood. I don't believe in that. I believe you should have a system in place that all these emails are curated in another piece of software, and you're not waiting on your email. You should have a piece of software that's managing all these people as they come through, and you need to be moving them through the opportunities. It's a new lead.
Like HubSpot or
Like
Salesforce?
Yes, exactly. I have my tool called Moving Up. It's a tool that does the same thing. It's just not as expensive. And I've geared it for moving companies.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got landing pages for it. I've got all the opportunities set up for it. I've got the email marketing that's all set up for moving companies specifically. But again, it hurts my heart when people tell me, oh, it goes into my email. I'm like, oh my God. No. That's not how we manage.
Yeah, that's for one, guys. So I'll
No.
check that out, whatever you're talking about.
Well, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll have another webinar. I'll show you the whole shebang with the whole CRM, but you've got to follow up with these people within 15 minutes. There's been a lot of research on this, and 15 minutes is that sweet spot. So that's what I worry about, these Saturday night, Sunday afternoon calls, not picking up the phone or not at least calling right back. It's just is 2% of all sales are made during the first point of contact. That means if you don't follow up, even with a simple email, you're missing out on almost 98% of your sales. So God bless, that sucker just goes right through, doesn't it? Yeah. So leveraging marketing automation. So when you have a web form, an email goes back, and in instant, another email is sent as well, confirming maybe an appointment, a phone call. I actually have it in place that if they call, I can actually send out an immediate social text right back to them that says, hey, it looks like we missed your call. We'll be in touch with you shortly, and let us know if now's not a good time. Let us know a good time through SMS automatically. So they call, phone call didn't go through, nobody answered, text can go right to them. Automate the way you follow up 5 times, able to engage via two-way text messaging. You want to make sure you're doing that. Again, simple math, 5% conversion versus 25% conversion. We at 12,500. Are you guys going to do 62,500? So how are we going to get that revenue? And do you have the tools to track it? I think that's the thing that I see missing. We're not tracking the right things. Google Analytics has changed. Do you have events? Do you have conversions set up? Do you know where they came from? What's your best landing pages? What's your best source of referral traffic? Do you know these things? And that's our growth model. Drive leads, maximize conversion, optimize the results. Reiterate, iterate, reiterate, iterate. It's just a constant battle of what do we need to make a change? That's my checklist. You guys have it. And I would love to know, I'm just going to stop right now. What are your top 3 things that you guys are going to do in 2024? Either you can type it in the chat if you want. Clayton, I'm sure will say something.
Grow.
Grow.
I had 3 trucks at one point. Now I had to sell 2 of them. So now I got 1, but I want to get back to 3 trucks, having jobs every day.
Okay.
So about 6 jobs a day would be perfect.
Okay. What about you, Rodney?
I am definitely going to take your advice and revise my website.
Good.
Too busy.
I know. I hear you.
Or I'm going to have you do it. Excuse me.
Yeah, I need your help.
Not me.
As it should be. I don't do my own bookkeeping for a reason. So,
Right.
I don't move on my own.
Your help. So we need to discuss probably me and you, and then Rodney and you need to discuss, individual services, because right. I don't think I can do a lot of this myself.
Yeah. I don't move myself. I did it one time myself. It was a disaster. I promised I would never do that again. So,
I've heard that at least 100,000 times.
Yeah. I've been good though. I mean, I've been in business for 11 years, so obviously I did something right. Made it through the pandemic.
Yes, you have.
It's not as big as it needs to be. Back in 2017, I had 2 big government contracts, and I haven't had, the last government contract I had was 2019, before the pandemic. So it's been kind of just residential, commercial stuff, and I'm getting by, but it's not, as much as I'm breaking my back, I need to be making money for the longevity, the future. You
Yeah.
know,
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
not
I
just
hear you.
like getting
It's a
by paycheck to paycheck type stuff.
Yeah, the government jobs, I think, are like a nice cushion. It's a nice thing to have, but to really grow, yeah,
Yeah.
you got to get beyond that. But yeah.
Need a variety, like you were saying. You
Yeah.
need a little bit of everything.
I'm hearing too, you were talking about increasing your average project. I was talking to the guy that does the $500. I'm like, you know what? If you want to increase it, first off, just friggin' increase it. The $500 is insane. So I'm like, you need to get to 1,000 minimum. I said, but if you're at 1,500, you're trying to get to 200. I've talked to a few guys and they're adding on things like junk removal. So yes, we'll move you, but in addition, we'll throw out things that you don't need. So, because right now they're calling the junk haul guys.
Yep.
You
Yes,
Yeah,
they
and
are.
cleaning too.
Cleaning
If
is
you
the
want to
other
hire,
one.
like I did, I
Absolutely.
hired
Yep.
a couple of women to do the
Yep.
cleaning. So like on a move out clean, we
Yep.
move everything out and they come in right after and clean it.
Yep. We got one client that's just getting into that. He's like, why am I doing this? It's just you hire a couple people to come in and clean, and yeah, it's not. He
A
knows how
lot
to
of
hire
people
people.
just don't understand how much moving and that type of service actually costs. They think that, oh, they're going to get it for $200 or $300 whenever, just the supplies and the gas in the truck is going to cost that.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's right.
sure
It's
does.
a full blown, because I got 26-foot trucks with lift gates.
Wow.
So
Yep.
it did not 10 miles a gallon, at least at most.
Yep. Yep. But also you're doing them a huge service. That's two less people they got to call. If you can just get it done for them, that's super value. And I think by offering that and just being the go-to for all things moving, that's beautiful, right? And especially if you're getting with these realtors and doing the stage moving, right? They've got a few gigs like that where they're just the go-to for any of the new homes, and they're having
We've been doing that a lot as well. Staging. I got a couple of real estate agents, but there's another one that people should look into. I don't know. I think his name was Anthony, right? The other guy on the call. You can do basically you charge the insurance company, so it's basically like what's it called? If the place gets flooded or there's a fire, they usually call. There's one company. It's like a green and orange logo.
Yeah, I know
They're
you're
pretty
talking
famous. Yeah, they're pretty famous. But you can do that too, and it's called. You basically pack it. It's like pack outs. So you basically go in and you salvage everything that can be salvaged, and then the insurance company is who pays you. So you charge your bill to the insurance company.
Right.
Restoration.
I think it's ServPro. That's
Pro.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know ServPro.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be part of like the
So
BNI group, and they were huge in BNI, the ServPro guys. Yeah.
so you could do the same thing. That's another niche. I've been getting into laboratory moving. So we've been moving like crazy heavy centrifuge to where they do biomedical stuff, and we have to wear white suits with gas mask, and you could just charge more money for stuff like that.
Oh,
Wow.
definitely.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. So we got website is one that you guys got to look at, one of your action plans. What was the other one, Clayton? You said your website, you said grow. I get the grow part, but what specifically?
Yeah, well, I need to, because for the last 2 years, I haven't paid any money in advertising. I pretty much just been running off of returning customers and referrals.
Okay,
and it's
so
been enough to pay the bills, but it's not like I'm making money.
Right. So looking at paid ads. Rodney, you got website. What will be the second one for you?
I think the number tracking results would probably need to do a little better with tracking the results.
Yeah. Where's your money
Google
going?
Analytics, I think you can get on that.
If you haven't, if your web developer hasn't done that yet, that would be the first thing you want to do is install that. It's easy to do. It's free. Let me know. I can certainly help and just do it for you. It's fine. But yeah, that's something you want to start tracking.
That'll be part of what you do.
Yes, we do all that. We set it, everything's set up, and we give you access. You own the account. We don't set things up where we own everything, and if you leave, you're screwed. Really,
I got you.
Yeah.
So
what's
basically,
the pay-per-click on Google Ads right now? Because I've never really had much luck with Google Ads. It was always like $12 or $15 a click.
Yeah, that's That's about right. But the deal
Yeah.
is that if you get leads from it, it's worth the $12 to $15 a click.
Yeah,
So
if you
we're
have
doing
to.
pretty well
Yeah,
with
if
paid
you're
ads.
converting.
If you're
Converting.
converting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's my point. When I
And you
see
do
these things,
Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff
yes.
too?
Yeah. Especially Facebook. Yep. I
Okay.
had to pull
It's
somebody
And
in on
then
Facebook.
Yelp, I think I got about 100 reviews. I think I'm 4.5 to 5 stars.
Nice. Yeah.
Other than that, you don't do Angie's List or Home Advisor. I think they're the same company now, actually.
Yeah, I think they merged. Yep. Now
But other than that,
yeah.
you think Google Ads is a good way to go?
I think doing both. I just believe you need to do both. It's all part of the ecosystem. Bing ads too. We're looking at we are doing Bing ads now. So it's, we don't always have to follow in line with the Google ecosphere here. Let's span out into things like Bing. Bing's now got BART, which is their own AI. So people have been kind of using that particular search engine recently, and it is a bit cheaper too. We're seeing, I've not seen it, but there's been lower cost per click, what I've seen with.
What's about the total per month that you think you would for your services?
For my services?
Yes.
We start at about $1,400 a month. That's where we start at. And that's like a website and SEO and probably beginner pay-per-click.
What if we already got website? We just need the SEO, the toxic backlinks erased, maybe some Google ads.
Yeah. I mean, we can do that too, for sure.
Because I just had mine designed like 2 years ago. So it's not that bad. It's kind of set up for mobile phones.
And I'd have to see it because I'm at a disadvantage if the website's not working. Then I'm like, well, crap, what am I going to do now? So, but it depends. Sometimes we just take over the site. We just kind of optimize it. I've done that with a few clients. The site's fine. We just need to kind of, make a few tweaks.
And I've got, who's the hosting? It's not GoDaddy. It's Blue. No, it's not Blue. What's it called?
Bluehost. There's Bluehost. We do not recommend GoDaddy. Never, ever.
Yeah,
ever.
It's not GoDaddy. It's another one. It's not Blue Angel. Blue.
There's a million of them out there. There's SiteGround.
Yeah, I think Oracle Ocean. No, Ocean something. Something Ocean.
Blue Ocean.
Maybe it's Blue Ocean. I don't know.
So Roman, Roman's. I think I got Roman. Roman said he wants to dominate the market. Nice. That's a good one, Roman. I like that. All right. So what we've covered, we got clear goals for the year. Make sure you utilize that spreadsheet I gave you guys. Map out your plan. So set a budget. What's your budget going to be? How much you're going to be spending, and get that set up for 2024. Are you going to be conservative 5%? Are you going to be aggressive with 8%? What's your monthly budget? What's your goal? Look at that. Make sure you set that up, because you can't make any of these decisions unless you know where this money is going. And let's just kind of make sure we set up our success. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll absolutely be following up with everybody on this call. So we can schedule some time if you want. That's my schedule if you'd like. Happy to have a conversation. Christmas is coming. We're closed Christmas and the week after Christmas. But next week I'm around, happy to pick up the phone and have a conversation. So if you, and what I do is that first it's a 5-10 minute call. I just want to ask kind of the same questions I've been doing here. But the strategy call is more of a 45-minute just you. And we go through, I look at your site, I give you a report, I go through your keyword list, I give you where you're ranking. I want to know what's happening. I mean, I do the whole gamut. I mean, it's a whole full-on report. So happy to do that for you. There's another tool that I have called the photo shoot list. I find that you guys forget to take the right photos. So I've got a full checklist on what photos you need. And it just gives you some guidance on that. Because usually it's for my own selfish purposes. I don't get enough good photos. So here's the list. So that's about it, guys. So we're just going to go through that.
Is it possible to send me this information? I'm not downloading it.
It's fine. I'm going to get
email.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. All of this stuff. Yeah.
Give me all of it, and then we will talk.
Yeah. Sounds great, guys. All right, guys. I hope that's been helpful. I know it was long.
Yes.
That's helpful. The annual one.
No, thank you so much.
You're so welcome, guys. Thanks, Roman.
2024 is going to be a good year.
It is
a big year.
I wish all you guys a lot of jobs, a
Yep.
lot of moving furniture up 3 flights of stairs, and
All the
happy,
fun
happy
stuff.
customers.
All
Curse
right.
you.
Have a
But
good
all
one.
those are probably expensive though, so maybe. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All
Happy
right.
Have a good one.
holidays. Bye, Roman. Bye,
Bye-bye.
Javier. Bye,
Happy
Rodney.
holidays.
Bye.
Later.